Hi, my name is Karina Akidal. I'm the managing editor of Canadian Auto Dealer. I'm here with Robert Carbom of Kijiji Autos. Kijiji Autos released a survey recently for the month of April that actually noted that users on the platform were actually looking for vehicles, and this amid the COVID-19 crisis. So, Robert, maybe you can tell us a little bit about that survey and some of the findings that really stuck out and are important for dealers to consider.
First of all, thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here. So yes, the Kijiji Autos Trend Report comes out monthly, and it's a resource that analyzes data from Kijiji Autos to help dealers better understand car shopping trends. So the report surfaces data nationally and regionally to help dealers find information most relevant to them. And some of the key engagement metrics that are included in this report are the most popular brands for that month, average new and used vehicle pricing, total number of vehicles, total number of views, and domestic import luxury and exotic benchmarks. And we release this every month on the Kijiji for Business website. Specific to April 2020, despite COVID-19, national views per listing were up 16% year over year for the month of April. And not just month over month, but year over year, which is really tremendous. Also, national emails were up 3% for the month of April year over year, and national new car engagement was up 13% year over year for the month of April as well. A lot of people think that Kijiji is only about used cars, but we have a tremendous new car marketplace within Kijiji Autos as well. And that really shows through in the data that we see in our monthly trends report.
And I understand that Quebec was a particular situation actually for the survey's findings. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about what that situation was for Quebec in relation to the other provinces.
Definitely. So overall, we saw year-over-year increases in every different province to differing degrees. But specifically in Quebec, the views per listing were up 4% year over year. Now in Quebec, we also saw a change in the types of vehicles consumers were looking at. So one of the key takeaways was that Ford was the top engaged brand in Quebec for the month of April, surpassing Toyota, with strength coming from the F-150, which isn't surprising, but also from the Ford Mustang. Another key engagement metric is that in Quebec for the month of April, there was an increase of new car engagement 27% year over year, which is astronomical. Now, the reason for that is because in the month of April, Quebec dealers were largely closed. And what this shows us is that even though COVID-19 is presenting uncertainty really everywhere in the world, there's a tremendous demand for new car vehicles in Canada and in Quebec. So when consumers couldn't make it to the showrooms, they went to Kijiji Autos to continue the car research process. Now, what that suggests is that as soon as these dealerships in Quebec start opening up, that we expect this pent-up demand to start flowing into sales.
And so what was the situation compared to the rest of Canada? How did the rest of Canada fare? Ontario, the Maritimes, all the other provinces?
Yeah, so as I said, each place was a little bit different. The biggest increase in views per listing was in Ontario at 27%, followed by BC at 20% and Atlantic Canada at 15%. So we did see growth in year-over-year numbers across the board. Quebec did see a significant increase in new car over total car, and that again speaks to just the demand for new cars on Kijiji Autos in the Quebec marketplace.
Is there anything particular you're expecting to see in your May survey? Anything you're anticipating?
In our May survey, anticipating? We don't like to anticipate, we like to go off what the data is suggesting. But everything that we're seeing thus far in our March and April reports is suggesting that we're anticipating that trend to continue of year-over-year growth. So everything thus far relating to COVID has shown that Kijiji Autos truly is the marketplace for Canadian shoppers.
Thank you so much. And I'm wondering, before we close this up, if you have any advice or additional insights that you'd like to share with dealers.
Definitely. So with this new landscape, there's a few different things that dealers can do to really help themselves through this new normal. One of them is to really focus on vehicle merchandising, and that has always been true, but it's never been more true than it is today. So taking a look at your inventory with a fine-tooth comb and making sure that each vehicle description, each vehicle display page is so compelling that the vehicle could potentially sell itself. You want the story that's available online to be as good as a salesperson doing a hood and trunk in your showroom or on your lot. Another thing is email is your primary communication tool for consumers now. It used to be a combination of email and text and phone and these other things, but really it's truly email now. So you have to be very careful and very specific in how you use that tool. At this time, telling consumers just come on down really isn't a strong strategy. Instead, you want to focus on providing specific and impactful information that talks about, what you're doing with your business, what you're doing to keep the consumers safe, what you're doing in the community, and what they can expect when they come to the dealership. There's a lot of consumers that are potentially holding off from buying or holding off from going into the dealer because there's a lot of unknowns of what's going to happen. So a great idea is to showcase some videos of people that have come to your dealership, that have purchased vehicles from you, to really ease any uncertainty about what is happening and to really build trust with the consumer before they come into the dealership. So if I had to say anything, merchandising 100%, and also being really careful and specific in the way that you communicate with consumers, especially over email.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Robert, for taking the time to do this interview. And I wish you and your family good health and safety during this difficult period.
Thank you very much. Same to you.